Hey guys, Julie the Oracle here. So I'm doing another tarot for the soul, and this is from my my best friend, my mentor, my teacher, JP. He created this for a soul tarot class, if you will, an event that we were doing in our group on Meetup, which is now transitioning to Facebook. Just want to say that, like, you can find them on there. I will post the link and pin it to the top of the comment section. For the Soul Tarot, it's best if you're learning tarot and you want to learn about yourself, this is a great way to do that. So technically I'm supposed to use 2 decks, but you're supposed to use the majors just for the, certain questions, 1, 4, and 7, and then the rest you're supposed to use the separate suits. So I had to separate everything. That's why you have like cups, and you have coins or pentacles, and then you have the wands and the swords here, because I only picked from each suit according to the rules or the spread that he has. It he always goes with about 7. I did include a few oracle with this so we can see how it resonates. It's best done on your own, but I want to say, like, this was a very beautiful spread, and it can tell you a lot about yourself. So please take what resonates and leave the rest. And definitely check out that link if you're interested in learning more, or if you want to learn about the group. You can always join, and he's planning to go live at some point, and he's a great teacher. So if you're wanting to learn tarot, just keep that in mind. So this is called Be the Change. So this soul tarot is all about changing. And it's kind of like pretty repetitive at first, but it will show you a lot about yourself. So the first card is, we're starting down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. It's kind of how it's arranged. So the number 1 is a major. How would you change yourself? So blind reading, I'm reading for all of you, the majority, and you got the Empress. So how would you change yourself? For the majority, the Empress is somebody that is very innovative and creative, and the idea of her birthing new ideas. I mean, she's pictured as pregnant in a lot of cards and stuff like that. She doesn't appear to be here, but looking at this, like, she's a nurturer. She very loving. The Empress is this beautiful balance of all the queens in the tarot deck. So, and she is the only one listed or laying here, like, with the rest of the cards. And hopefully I have to do something really quickly, because I just realized, like, okay, I forgot. No nudity. Okay, there you go. Sorry, I don't know. YouTube has these silly restrictions. So, I mean, it's animation. It's not even that obvious, but these cards have been around forever. I mean, if you want, I do have, like, a very naughty deck. I can't put that on here, though. If I did an 18 plus sometime, I'd have to go to a place where I could record and put it up for people to pay for. I could do that, though. But yes, so the Empress is full of ideas, like, but she is somebody that is just well balanced of all the queens. She's very level-headed, and she's an Empress for a reason. Like, she knows what her community needs, her kingdom, however you want to word it. And she runs her household. She's strict, yet she's fair. And, there's just a lot of love coming from the Empress. I think a lot of you, what I get from it is that you would be more loving and nurturing if you could. This world has become a very cold place, so it makes sense that people are guarded. People are not trusting. People just aren't trustworthy anymore. You never know. So a lot of people guard themselves. They put up walls. They protect their heart. They don't want to open up in any way. They don't like to be vulnerable, because people hurt you. People are rude and crude and just don't care anymore. And in this world, I think many of you want to change to be more open, to be more loving, to share your ideas, but it's hard to do that because people will steal anything these days. You know, they'll take advantage of you. They'll speak down to you. It's just, there's a lot. I could get some water in here. Let's see. So that was number 1. Number 2 is discs. That would be this card here, the 9 of Pentacles. It says, what else changes? Most of this is going to be what else changes. So what else is going to change? No, so how would you change yourself? You're wanting more loving and more nurturing, but a lot of you would be more independent on your own. I think a lot of you, I get that you live with roommates or family or something of that. A lot of you wish that you were able to take care of yourself, that you could live on your own because you could do what you want. Nobody's there to put restrictions on you, to put stupid rules on you. They can't, tell you what to do and not to do. Like, you live in an apartment, they can tell you what to do. If you had the money, you'd have your own house, you'd have your own garden. You might even have your own bird like she does. I don't know. I have a cat, so, I'd have my cat. Maybe a dog, too. But she's growing in abundance. She's making good money, and her abundance, like, she's growing her own garden. Her grapes are fulfilled. She could make wine. I was just talking about winemaking for a brief moment in the last reading. But I think I see that a lot of you would love to be more independent. And that makes a lot of sense. Like, changing yourself, because being independent gives you a lot more freedom. And nobody can tell you when you have your own plot of land, your own house. You can do what you want. You want to paint it, you can paint it. If you want to work on your car out there, nobody's going to complain if you're revving your engine and stuff like that. I mean, it drives me nuts in a neighborhood when people are constantly doing stuff like that. And I get it. If people could, they would have their own little private plot of land, and, nobody would be bothered. You could do what you want without bothering anybody, and it'd make you happy. If I did too, yeah, I might try to grow a garden too. I kind of enjoyed trying to grow vegetables and stuff, but I was not having a good time. Those dang worms were all over my broccoli. I did not like that. Yuck. So, but I can see that. Definitely independence. Being strong, being independent, not relying on anybody. That's kind of, I think a lot of us want that. A lot of us want that. And it's hard because sometimes we just don't make enough, or we can't afford these outrageous prices on rent or houses. You can't afford to buy a house, but you actually, you probably could buy a house, but you can't buy a house because of stupid credit things, rules. But the thing that gets me is that you can afford the mortgage on a house, but they want you to pay 3 times the rent for like a crappy apartment. And then they don't even fix things, and you get bugs, and you get crappy neighbors, and police are always coming out because the crappy neighbors are fighting. It's just always something. That might have been my personal experience. But yeah, I get it. So that's what changes with, house, home, and money. You want to be more independent regarding that. Just more independent, more, I said it, now I forgot. But there's more changes to come. So when we go over to the cups, number 3 is cups. What else changes? Again, the same question. Well, so what changes for you emotionally? That's what we want to put here. Cups are water, cups are emotion. So what changes emotionally? I see the Page of Cups as being, it's a messenger, but I think this is about, he's looking at this fish and the fish is looking at him. I think it's about the ability to be able to be more direct with people. Majority of us, we keep our mouth shut a lot of the time when people are doing things. We watch people act out and make a fool of themselves, but it's scary because it's hard to speak up and say, hey, we don't appreciate you acting like that. Can you not? Can you just shut up? Like, there's no need for you to be so rude or so hateful. And then when you do, they turn on you, and then it's a fight there. And you never know. Some people will just turn around and they will become violent with you in whatever way. People are so unpredictable these days. But I think that, changing ourselves, we wish that we want to be more direct with people. Emotionally, we want to be able to express ourselves without being pushed down. And when people upset, like, I think it's a way of saying, hey, you're not, this is how I feel, but there's so many people out there that they're using that dumb term like snowflake, and it's so stupid. I'm sorry, but it's stupid. It's so stupid. It's like the people using those terms are the ones with the most problems. But they won't tell you that. Those are the people that need to wake up. They need the spiritual awakening more than anybody. And so when we do end up ascending or going into this fifth dimension, or they're going to be dragged kicking and screaming into it, they're not going to know what to do with themselves. It kind of makes me laugh when you think about it. It's like we want to open people's minds. But emotionally, yes, we want to be able to tell people how we feel in the moment without people telling us we're too sensitive, without people saying, you need to suck it up, without people saying, like, oh, we don't need participation awards and stuff like, there's a way to do things and there's a way not to. We're trying to be more inclusive in society. We're trying to grow and make sure that nobody's left out. People don't really care about everybody's feelings. And I think Page of Cups is exactly about that. Is that we wish we could express ourselves more emotionally without it being considered a negative thing all the time, or without, being called out and put down for it. We want to be able to express ourselves openly and directly, without somebody getting upset. And so I get that. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. It's coming out pretty clear to me. I try to elaborate a little bit on it. And some of you, though, I am getting this, some of you need to learn to apologize. So that's what changes. There's so many people out there, we get cold and we're like, no, we're mad, we're not going to do it. We get stubborn and we don't want to apologize. The Page of Cups can be an apology too. And sometimes you need to learn to apologize because your words can hurt people more than anything. Your actions can hurt people. If we have a fight and we say something, we say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, you know what? Own up. If you want to change yourself, change within yourself, it's going to be better for you and your soul, and it's going to be better for the people that you've wronged. If you hurt a friend or a family member or somebody like that, your loved one, just make sure that you're like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean, I shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean to hurt you. I apologize for my behavior. I will work on not doing that ever again. Just say it. Apologies are one of the hardest things for people to do. And a lot of people are stubborn and they just don't want to be vulnerable. And the thing is, that's something that emotional vulnerability is needed here. So that is what number 3 is about with the cups. That's what needs to change with a lot of people. You need to be more emotionally vulnerable, know when to apologize, know when to be direct and say, this is how I feel. And if people don't like it, tough. It's like you're expressing yourself, and that's a very healthy communication. So many people are unhealthy in the way they communicate that they just want to squash you down. And that just shows what kind of bully they are. And that shows what kind of, how messed up they are, and that they really could use some therapy. But a lot of those people don't believe in that type of stuff either. So at some point, we just have to learn to do what we need to do for us that's healthy. And if other people want to act out on it, then just have to remember, it's on them. It's not your fault. So number 4 is a major right in the dead center. We have the Magician. It says, what else changes? The Magician is just telling you basically you have all the tools you need. That's the basic interpretation. But it's also like a card of manifestation and creation, and change comes from within. So what else changes? You change. You can change your thought process, your thinking, to be more optimistic, to be more positive. And in doing so, it kind of sets off the law of attraction, and you start drawing the things you desire to you. And so with that thinking in your head, you have to try to hold on to this positivity. And it's okay to have a bad day. Don't let me tell you not to. You can have a bad day. You're allowed to feel what you feel. You just don't want to sit in it. You don't want to sleep in it. You don't want to stay forever in that feeling. That's where you find a confidant, someone, a close friend or someone that you can share things with, and you just say, I need to vent about this, and this is bothering me and I want to talk about it. Okay, talk about it, vent, get it off your chest, and you feel so much better when you do. And then it's like, it's good because you're doing something healthy. It's healthy to let it out. It's not healthy to hold it in. So with the magician, you're changing from within as well. You're learning to manifest your desires, and you're learning a healthier way of doing this communication. You have all the tools here, so you're learning a better way, a positive way of thinking, a better way to express your emotions. You're learning to be more, independent in your home life and to have that strength. And with the wands, it's more creative. You're finding creative outlets, to deal with the everyday stress of life. So the magician is kind of the jack of all trades here. It represents everything. So you're changing all of these things within yourself. That's the change, You changing is the biggest, that's the biggest thing of all. I mean, you're talking about, how would you change yourself? Well, you are starting to do this just by thinking, changing your way of thinking. You start to change the way of feeling. And then that goes in and it affects you in your everyday life. You become stronger, more independent. You can provide for yourself. You can be creative. You can be happy. You can provide for others. And that's what I'm seeing here. And you're the change, and you inspire others to also change themselves. It almost sounds like it should be the last card, but this is what I'm getting from the magician. So that's number 4. So number 5 is the wands. What else changes? So it's kind of funny how the magician, you're learning to manifest and draw to you the things you want. You're actually learning to change within yourself. That's one of the hardest things it is to do. But that inward change also creates an outward ripple effect for, like, the wands. Like, this is a happy card. This card the 2 wands can be like 11-11. It could be a soulmate card, a twin flame card, if you are open to that idea. Even divine counterpart, whatever you want to say. But this is 2 people getting married, and their friends are over here, cheering them on. Probably getting ready to go on their honeymoon, whatever they want to do. So here you have the 4 of wands, and this is an outward reflection. This could be you down the road. Maybe you were so closed off, but learning to be more open, changing your mindset, changing your emotional feelings to realize that not everything is on you, that you're being healthy by expressing yourself. That's going to open you up to all this, attracting all this abundance to you. And not only are you going to feel happier at home, as soon as you get to this point, you're strong, you're independent, you're on your own, and you're happy. That's when your person comes in and you're with your person. You end up attracting great friends and family. You have fun, you're social, and this outward effect, you're going to draw the love of your life to you this way. So I see that this is what's changing too. Your relationships with others change, and they see your light, your beautiful energy. They see your positive outlook, the way you think in a beautiful way, and the way you feel about things. They see the vulnerability there, and they see, wow, that's a good person. That's a person that is, secure within themselves, the way they think and feel. And that is going to draw love to you. So that's going to be changing for some of you. I definitely see love here for sure. But then we go to the swords, which is your thinking, and communication. And so 6 of swords, this you changing yourself is going to heal you. You're going to move on in life a better person. Like, look how much you're growing, It changed your mindset, and it's healing you, and you're expressing yourself, and you're independent and happy, and then you're going to draw in all of this wonderful social time, and friends, family, your loved one is going to come in, like your significant other will come into your life, and you're like, wow, look at all this happen in such a short amount of time. It's all going to just culminate. It will take some time, but it's going to happen. And all because you are recognizing the changes. That magician is becoming aware of the changes within. And, that's a big part of what that's about too. You literally are utilizing every part of your life by, becoming aware of what needs to change. The magician knows he's got to put more love and kindness in the world, and, be more generous and considerate, and, that loving, nurturing part. When you open up that vulnerability, like, you're opening up, changing the mindset, changing the emotions, and that leads to, that's leading to this abundance and happiness. So That's a huge thing that the swords are doing. All of this because you changed your mindset, you know? You used to keep it protected, but it's healing you, and you're moving into the future, and your life is going to become more peaceful. And then you have the Lover's card. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to show off. They're showing off their feet. So, with the Lover's card up here, this is the 7th card. It's the Manger. So it says, if you do change, how could the world change? This is about soul retrieval. So how could the world change? Well, you look at you. You're putting this love into the world. It's changing your life for the better. Through the Magician, you're aware of it. Now that you're aware of it, this gives you a lot of power. Because you're realizing, me putting all this love and nurturing back out into the world, not just to myself, you're loving yourself and caring for yourself, but you're doing that for others. You know, change the mindset, changing the emotions, you know, being more independent. This abundance and happiness, not only does it come to you, but when you get to the Lover's card, you're putting this love out into the world. You're spreading love like wildfire. And so that's what the change is. When you do all this, you know, the world is changing by the love you put out in it. It's becoming a softer, gentler, you know, world. That love and kindness is making a difference whether you can tell or not. Now, don't look at the magazines and the newspapers and the news and, you know, all of the dark shows that are out there, you know, about murder and stuff. Just don't look at it. I mean, some of us love watching some of that stuff, documentary stuff, but it's just, when you look at all that, it makes it look like the world is just a horrible place. But the truth is, that's just kind of how things are skewed, because we only report, like, majority of reporting is bad things. We're reporting all the war in the world and the death and the sadness. But there's a lot of really positivity, you know, a lot of good positive feedback not feedback, what am I thinking? There's a lot of positivity out there. Let me just say, there's a lot of positive, feel-good stories is what I'm trying to think. I forgot what they call them, but yeah, those feel-good stories, you know, the ones like, you can see the love and the warmth and the kindness that people are putting out. When they put that love out, you feel it when you read that story or when you watch that story about it. So if you look at more of the sweet things that are in life, these beautiful, sweet stories out here, you can feel the love in those, and it spreads. And then people are like, oh, I want to do something like that too. So the next thing you know, you're out there putting that love in the world. So you are changing the world by loving yourself and loving others more. You just changed your life, and guess what? Like I said, ripple effect. And then you change others, and you start drawing those friends to you. They're drawn to you because they recognize the change in you. And you draw the love of your life to you because they recognize that, like, you are a different person in a positive way. So, and then guess what? That person is forever affected because now you have the love of your life, and you love them and they love you, and they're putting that love out to their friends and family and so on. And your friends are going out and they're going, wow, I like their story. Look at them. They got everything they wanted. So now they're going to go out and they're going to put love in the world, and it spreads. I have to say, love is probably the best kind of contagious you can have. So if we're going to have a pandemic of anything, you know, it should be love. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Maybe that's a bad word, but love should be infectious. I think it is to a degree. Some people shy away from it, but I think the more love in the world, the more that we change. We change ourselves, and the change comes from within, but it also helps change others. And then when other people see that, they start to change themselves, and then they put out that love. So I don't know how else to say it. You're spreading love. So be the change. And it's so funny. I don't know why I got this, but I pulled this. I tried to pull a past life card on these Oracle, and I got Asia. What I got from this card is, I mean, you could have had a past life in Asia, some of you. I mean, we've had many, many lives, so many of us probably were in Asia at some time. But I'm looking at the fact that the statue and everything really makes me think of like Buddha or Buddhism or any of those, the Asian culture, and the different types of, I say, religion or the spirituality they have there, you know? Like, you do have the Buddhism, but like the sacred things, like there's a different way of life. Asia has a lot of modalities that have come out of it. When you think of like yoga or Reiki, things like that, things that we heal, things that create peace, things that, it's love. It's all like energetic love. But I think that that's what this card means, is maybe, you know, tapping in and learning about those things, learning about yoga and Reiki and, or Buddhism. I mean, not just like the healing energy modalities, but it's maybe just looking into their type of spirituality over there. And they do a lot of meditating, and it's very peaceful. There's a lot of peace over there in the things that they do. So I don't know. There's something about that maybe you should look into that could help you change within, because sometimes the philosophies that are there, you know, they're beautiful and loving, peaceful philosophies. So look into that. There's something with that. And then Ascendant Oracle says reclaim. You have 2 wands here. Kind of looks like the 2 of Wands with crystals on the end. You know, that's kind of like, I mean, if I were to go plain, you know, interpretation, 2 of Wands is like planning and strategy, but it doesn't have to be in this case. It's saying to reclaim, and I think it's saying to reclaim who you are. Reclaim your soul. If this is soul retrieval related in this spread, this is reclaiming reclaiming your soul. And it's like finding, and that's changing. Like, it's not changing, but it's going back to your authentic self, because we've become so numb in this world, like cold, you know, hard. We put up all these walls. It's like time to tear that wall down. You know, you put your soul behind a wall. You can't do that. Your heart and soul need to be out there loving people. So tear that wall down. Reclaim it. And reclaiming it causes that change within you, and that changes everyone around you. So yeah, reclaim it. Then we have commitment. This is so funny. I feel like there's a love component in this, because, you know, clearly you changing yourself has helped you to get to this point where you're happy, you're independent, you're taking care of yourself. You're doing everything you wanted to do. And then that brings in this commitment card. This is a marriage card up here. So with commitment, I think that committing to change is going to bring you the love commitment that you want. It's going to bring you the friends that you need and the life that you have been desiring. So stay true to commitment. Commit yourself to changing. Commit yourself to being your most authentic self and putting that love out in the world. And this is so funny because your color card is rose, number 6. Number 6 is the lover's card, and it's rose, that rose red, that beautiful color says attract a relationship. So you're attracting that law of attraction. You have somehow triggered it with the change in yourself, and that's bringing in your relationship. That's going to bring in all the love and happiness that you can possibly handle. And yeah, I love this for you. The majority of you are doing such a great job. So I'd say for most of you, this is what's coming in. And all that because it's be the change. It's funny how we do the soul work and this is what happens. Good things happen. So keep that in mind. Again, I pulled another Kuan Yin. I've been doing this on some of the readings, and I love the advice. Kuan Yin, divine goddess, or goddess of divine feminine. I can never say it quite right. Let me get a drink of water, because I wanted to read this. It's called Shining Lotus. It says, there are times when it makes sense to be discreet until you find your inner strength so that you feel empowered enough to share your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs without wavering, even in the face of challenge. At other times, we are ready to take a risk and allow the inner lotus blossom of our true self to shine forth for all to behold. That is beautiful. I really do think that that is about changing within. You know, allow the inner lotus blossom of our true self to shine forth. That's all about be the change right there in your face. And for a lighter note, inner effing peace deck. What's one thing you're grateful for? Blessed as fuck. That's it. I love that. You're blessed. This is, be the change and you will be blessed in the best of ways. So I hope this reading was helpful for you. Go out and change the world, guys. All right.